Hey everyone, welcome back to It's Game Week, and this is our 12th episode, and we are recording it after I think 2 weeks of break, and huge gap, but there were so many World Cup matches, and it was so tough to cover basically. And I have, of course, the OG Nilesh and Kashyap with me today, and we are very excited to talk about the World Cup matches that have recently happened, and I think three more matches or four more matches, if I'm not wrong, including the third place one. So yeah, hello Nilesh bhai. Hi Kashyap, what's up?
Hi Pawan, hi
Don't say,
Nikesha.
hey Kashyap. So, how is World Cup treating you guys?
It's
Uh,
been a pleasantly surprising World Cup, like a lot of exciting games, especially the knockout stages as well. Some really unexpected results. So it's actually been a fun World Cup to watch.
oh yeah, definitely. So same with me. I think this is probably the most exciting World Cup since I've started watching 2010, 14, 18, and 22. I didn't expect so many surprises in this World Cup. I think it was really good. And one thing is, if you notice, nobody is talking about Qatar politics or Qatar, the things that everybody discussed after the World Cup started. Of course, it was
Uh,
bound to be
this is always
overshadowed.
expected because
Yeah,
it's that's what right. It's called sports washing. Like you
yeah,
use a sporting spectacle to cover
exactly.
up
It's,
everything else. And once World Cup starts, they expect like obviously
yeah.
it's a very popular sport and
Mm,
people are very passionate about it.
yeah,
Be it any sort of fans, even
true.
us who are not particularly fans of our country is not representing, but still we are so invested in it.
Right.
So you can imagine like folks like Argentina, even Morocco fans, like it's insane.
Mm,
Like whole of Africa and the Middle Eastern countries are supporting Morocco so much because they're doing so well.
right. Mm,
But I feel Qatar has managed it very well. I mean, in terms of how they've managed the media, how they've managed expectations, how they've managed the crowd.
mm,
Uh, uh, for a very small nation, I think
yeah.
they've done really good. And the best part, what I liked about it was that in the group stages they were playing 4 matches per day.
Mm,
And that was only possible because it's a small country and people can commute from one end to another and people can
yeah.
attend more matches.
It's a small
And
city. It's just
yeah, I mean,
go around in bus.
from one end to the other end of Qatar, you could actually reach in 2 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even reach the center of Bangalore in 2 hours.
बैंगलोर का तो मतलब हाँ
Yeah.
कोई चांस ही नहीं है
So
cannot compare. Yeah.
exactly. So I feel, looking from far off, sitting here in Bangalore,
Mm,
just listening to people, reading to newspaper, reading on internet and stuff like that. The feeling what I get is that Qatar World Cup has been a successful one, and
mm,
moreover, I feel this will actually give confidence to other African and the Middle Eastern
small
countries
nations. Mm,
to host these great spectacle events, and
mm,
not to forget Morocco is playing its part in
yeah.
adding fuel to the fire. And trust me, being a football romantic for a very long time, um, be it the 2006 sorry 2004 when Greece,
Mm,
2004 2008, I think Greece went to the semifinals of Euros.
okay. Mm.
I think it was
uh,
2004, yeah.
yeah, I think
There
that
was
was
no
one
World
of
Cup in 2004, right? It was six, if I'm not wrong.
2006 World
2002
Cup,
and
but
2006.
this is Euros he's
2004
talking about.
Euros.
Oh, Euros.
Yeah,
Sorry. Mm,
2004
Yeah.
Euros, I think.
2004 Euros, Greece made it to semi-finals. I mean, Greece, क्या कौन जानता है? I mean, like Greece तो Greece ही है यार.
mm.
And I think 2010, Ghana or Senegal. I think Ghana made it to quarterfinal,
Mm,
and Mr. Luis Suarez stopped the goal
mm.
with his hand.
With his hand,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
He got a red card. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Is
yeah.
that the match where he
So
bit the player? Or is that the
that
World Cup where he bit the player?
that it was a World Cup match and it was against Italy. Uruguay beat
Yeah,
Italy,
correct. Mm.
and he bit, I think, Bonucci,
Mm.
Bonucci or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chiellini.
Kellini. He bit
Yeah, one
Kellini.
of those
Mm.
defenders. Imagine biting
Mm.
those defenders.
Yeah, he bit Kellini. Yeah.
Yeah. So and they made this, and the fun part was they started making burgers with that theme. You can actually
uh,
do this. Yeah.
Funny stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, but all in all, it was a very good World Cup. But the worst part is that most of the I couldn't watch most of the matches in its
Mm,
completeness because either you watch the first half and then go to bed, or you watch the second half of
mm,
the one match and the first half of the next match and then go to bed.
right. Mm.
So the timings are not, being
Oh, yeah.
kind enough, but
It,
it was
it,
really nice.
it was very difficult. Yeah, I think I followed a bunch of Brazil's matches, and I think a few Uruguay, the group stage ones. And yeah, okay, let's talk with. Let's remember our predictions. Kashyap, I want to start with you.
I
Yeah, I think I made the worst
Germ-
predictions possible.
Germany, Germany to be the winners. I mean, we
Uh,
all made probably weird.
I think I made the worst. I expected Germany to at least clear the group stage.
Mm,
Sad. Like I think against Japan, their I don't know, like to they were playing pretty well, and then
mm,
they just had like a lapse in concentration. I don't know what their defense kind of gave up on, like very too. So Japan, I think they were very efficient on their counterattacks. Like even against their Spain game,
mm,
Spain had like somewhere around 70-75% possession, and then
right.
their
Mm,
counterattacks were really good. It's not like they had so many attacks, like so many shots on target as well. It's just that whatever minimalistic chances they got, they really utilized them.
mm,
And I think Germany has been a touch unlucky because they had the highest XG or whatever stats that they you have. Like they created a lot of chances, and
mm,
that's where I think they missed out. I mean, like after the first game, I really thought they'll play a out and out striker. They had Fulkrug, but he was not like tested at the international level, so maybe Hansi Flick was not really confident in his abilities. But you can see that whenever he came on, he scored goals. So, and I really wanted him to play instead of like because playing Muller or Kai Havertz as a center forward didn't make any sense in that
yes.
like they didn't have the technical
Mm,
ability to finish goals or something, which was evident, which was evidently what Germany was missing. So maybe, I mean, hindsight 2020, it's always
yeah.
easy to sit back and say you could have played that maybe. Yeah, but I really
Right.
felt that Germany needed a striker more than like a
Exactly.
floating false nine kind of a guy.
Yeah. If there was one problem that was at Germany even before going into the World Cup was they didn't have a full-time striker.
Yeah.
Uh, they had Timo Werner, but I was not even sure if he's part
No,
of the
he was
squad.
injured. That's
I
why.
think
He's injured.
instead
Yeah,
of
Yeah.
Timo
but
Werner, they should have called like Miroslav Klose. He would have played better.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, but
that's
no.
what.
To be honest, the guy that they bought in, the Fulkrug guy, who's actually doing well in Bundesliga, he played pretty well. Like he scored 2 goals in the 2 matches that he came on.
Mm.
Maybe he could have done the job if he was played from up front. But again,
See, that was also one of the good groups, right? And luck comes into the picture then. So at one point when those final group stage matches were happening, Spain and Germany both were actually getting knocked
yeah.
out of the group stage.
Trust me, I was so happy. I was so
I
happy at
was like,
that
oh
point.
yeah, this is
And this
if
should
this
happen.
happens, yeah,
This should happen. I mean, Costa
I put
Rica
up
and Japan should
Japan.
go
Yeah.
through. Should
Mm,
go
Oh,
through.
being insane. Yeah.
mm. Speaking of predictions, Nilesh, bhai, great prediction on Japan. I think we have the worst prediction and we have the like probably the best prediction that we had. Like Japan were outstanding. Um,
I always had faith in Japanese. I mean, so the reason why I chose Japan was because um, I had seen few of their group stages. I'm like their qualifying games. Plus,
mm,
I had also seen them play in the Asia Cup,
right.
and
Yeah. Mm. AFC.
Japan has got a really good um, core of players.
Mm.
Really responsible core of players. They might not be playing for the fanciest clubs in England or Spain or anywhere, but they have got really good players. So yes, Japan, uh,
They were really good, and
and they cleaned the stadiums well. So kudos, kudos to them for that.
that's the we see those stories. I mean, always on the social media, right?
And
Japanese.
you know what, the one I saw one of the videos, and trust me, it made me really, I really got amused was that, so Japanese were cleaning the stadium, and then they
Mhm.
posted a video in reverse. So it felt like they were making the stadium dirty.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So then they posted this, that after the game, after they lost the game, that they did not qualify for the next round. Japanese was littering around the stadium. Huh?
Talk
Like
about internet creativity
कुछ भी
has
करते
no
हैं.
has no bounds out there. Yeah, so I think they were the biggest disappointments, Germany, if we come down to one country. And next country, I'm not entirely disappointed, but after seeing the group stage and basically Spain, right? After seeing the way they were playing, um, it was actually good. I actually thought, and I bought a jersey too, which was the मैंने jersey खरीदा and they were out in the next match, and I bought a Ramos jersey 15. So the way Spain was playing was actually good enough until they faced Morocco. Morocco, of course, we have an entire segment for it to talk about Morocco, the way the darlings of the World Cup, and that match, especially if you see, I remember I was watching that match and Morocco versus Spain. I think Spain had like 76% possession throughout the match. And Morocco were super happy about it. They didn't have to, they were not even worried about not having the ball. They were happy to sit back and basically they cut all the gaps of what um, the midfield could make, and they forced Spain to basically play wide,
I
and they
think
were
it was.
going nowhere with it.
I think it was not only about closing in the gaps. I think Spain was not brave enough in that match.
That's the main thing, right? That is what I hated about. I mean, that is one of the things I don't like about Enrique. So much possession, and Pedri was supposed to go front attack, or Gavi was supposed to go front attack. Either one of them should be attacking. So Gavi was getting the ball. He's giving to Pedri, and Pedri is taking back to Jordi Alba, where there were nobody in front. There was no attacking tactic at all in those games, at least in the Morocco game. I think that's what basically got down Spain overall. Yeah.
So there was another point what I felt, which went against Spain, or maybe Spain, where the architects of their own downfall was that they do not shoot from outside the box. Sometimes what happens is when you're playing low blocks, right? When you're playing against low blocks, and you just cannot penetrate them because they're like sitting in a 5-4-1 shape. There are
Mm,
five defenders, four midfielders, and one striker, and they are all banged. All you need to do is start taking shots from outside the box.
mm,
Deflect, okay, अंदर जाएगा ही जाएगा.
mm. True. I think that didn't happen for sure. And I think we lost Nilesh.
ये ब्राजील का मैच था अभी. uh,
You were gone for a minute. For a second, yeah. You
वो
were saying
इंटरनेट
something?
वापस आया.
Ha. Hmm.
There was this one match, वो deflect हुआ. uh, some player took a shot from outside. I think recently in the
Chomeni,
match.
फ्रांस
नहीं,
वाला.
चौमेनी का नहीं,
हम्म,
चौमेनी का गोल तो स्ट्रेट गया था.
अच्छा, चौमेनी का डिफ्लेक्ट नहीं हुआ. हाँ, मतलब याद आया मुझे. आई
आई
थिंक इट
थिंक ये
वाज
अर्जेंटीना और नेदरलैंड्स वाला गेम था, जिसमें
एग्जैक्टली.
जिसमें नेदरलैंड्स ने अपना सेकंड गोल ऐसे
या करेक्ट करेक्ट
आंख बंद
करेक्ट
करके मार
100%.
दिया.
या करेक्ट 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 वही है
हाँ,
वही है.
और वो डिफ्लेक्ट होके गोल अंदर चला गया.
या
करना चाहिए था ना यार, ये सब मैं इंडिया में बैठ के कैसे बताऊं उन लोगों को.
मतलब
हाँ,
that is very underrated. You see these center backs or even CDMs, right, standing outside the box and waiting just for that. क्या बोलते हैं उसको, which hits the, I mean, probably hits the goalkeeper and comes back, or just comes
रिबाउंड.
and rebounds from any
हाँ.
one of the players. They take
हाँ.
the shots, and they are very underrated. Like many people at Madrid used to take, like Nacho used to take.
Hmm.
This guy Valverde takes a multiple stock. I think half of his
Yeah,
goals are like that, just standing and waiting and like straight powering up into the goal.
exactly.
Yeah, and
अब,
these will be the match changers, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think Spain also lacked that, and
what did you guys make of Brazil when Brazil played against Croatia? Where do you think the match was won and lost?
uh, I think I think it was basically it boiled down to luck. Croatia were good enough, but I mean it happens always, right? Croatia were not, of course, not excellent even last World Cup. They were doing the basics and not giving up until the last moment, right? If you see the way they were defending in the last few minutes, it was outstanding.
Imagine Croatia had played 120 minutes in the previous match in
Exactly. So
against Japan.
yeah,
They played
they played.
120 minutes again
Yeah,
this
and
match.
that is the oldest team. Like the average age is like 28 or something in that team. If there was one thing that is lacking, we thought going into the World Cup was these folks cannot play for 120 minutes or more than 90 minutes, but they did twice.
I think Croatia versus Brazil, the game was won in the midfield.
I would
Croatian
also like
midfield.
to give a solid shout out to the Croatian goalkeeper. I think that guy was amazing. Even against
Yeah,
Yeah,
Spain, against
Livakovic.
Japan,
Livakovic.
Yeah,
he
Livakovic.
made some insane saves, like really good save. Like I
यार
think
वो
there was one back-to-back save as well.
Yeah.
हाँ,
He was immense for them. I think uh, I think both the games he like Croatia was in the game because like partly because of him.
Mm,
He was really immense for them. Like he was
mm.
almost like part of their solid defense that
वो
they didn't concede because like 50% or even like 70% was because of him.
वो
Oh,
लिवाच
I
वो लिवाचो लिवा लिव
Livakovic.
लिवाकोविच ऐसे ही गोल बचा रहे
Bhai, matlab, if you see, of course, I completely agree with that point. The basic quarterfinals, yeah, quarterfinals were won by goalkeepers. Even Emi
Mm-hmm.
Martinez was outstanding. Livakovic was outstanding. That Morocco's goalkeeper, Bono, he was also
Hmm.
amazing. I mean, he's been amazing.
Yeah, he hasn't conceded a single goal. I mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah, one own goal. Yeah,
one
oh,
own goal.
yeah. It's
So coming back to
good.
Croatia versus Brazil game, right? The one thing what I observed in that game was that Brozovic,
Mm.
Modric, and Kovacic, these three
Kovacic and
midfielders,
Kramaric. I think there was one more midfielder. I think he was also good.
uh,
Hmm.
these three players bossed the midfield, and they were because the reason why because they were working hard. The
Yes.
Brazilian midfielders because see who plays. There's this guy. There's Casemiro. He was a single pivot.
Yeah.
He was a single pivot.
Mm.
Neymar does not track back. Who's
Mm.
the other guy on the other flank? Paqueta, Lucas Paqueta.
Lucas Paqueta.
हाँ
Benfica. नहीं, not
नहीं
Benfica.
नहीं वेस्ट
Lucas
हैम
Paqueta.
यूनाइटेड.
West Ham. Yeah.
हाँ वो स्टार्टिंग में दौड़ा उसके बाद थक गया. हाँ
Mm.
उसके अंदर
Mm.
वो इंजन ही नहीं है जो आपकी मॉडरिच और इन लोगों के अंदर है.
Yeah.
हाँ और सारे फैंसी प्लेयर्स हैं यार. नेमार थोड़ा ना भागने वाला है. मैं
Right.
120th मिनट में वो पीछे भाग रहा है.
Yeah.
हाँ इतना ड्राइव ही नहीं है उनके अंदर यार.
Yeah. I agree. I saw that in the last moment. Ki they somehow gave up after a while, and I think that's where they
You know
lost it.
the moment Neymar scored, they were like जीत गए अपन तो
जीत
मैच.
गए. Yeah. That was a good goal, though. To be
अबे
honest,
गोल
was
तो
it like?
अच्छा है.
I think Paqueta gave the assist, or
Paqueta gave the assist.
yeah.
He
Oh,
had two 1-2s,
yeah.
given goals with
Amazing.
two players.
Amazing finish. Yeah.
Uh,
It's like okay.
I
Yeah.
think he scored um a goal from open play after a very long time. Neymar
Mm-hmm.
for
Is
Brazil.
it? Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
his last 6 goals were all penalties.
Mm. Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, penalties reminds me of the Morocco versus Spain game. What do you think of Spain not even scoring one penalty?
अरे वो स्पेन तो चलो छोड़ो. जापान ने सारे
I have
ऐसे हाथ में दे दिए यार.
नहीं तो देखो ना, मतलब जापान का ना मुझे लगता है, मतलब जापान is a team which of course they might not have been prepared for the penalty situation. I mean, going into the Japan versus Croatia penalties, I thought, okay, fine. This is like a Croatian game because they are more experienced players. They know how to take penalties. They know how to handle that pressure from that penalty box, right? I expected that. So जापान का मुझे इतना what do you say, surprising नहीं लगा when compared to Spain. The
well,
moment
at
when the
least
match
Japan didn't practice 1,000 penalties per person and still miss, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, that was so horrible. Yeah,
Also,
imagine.
I have an interesting take on the penalties. Like, why are your premier like strikers or something. Even I've observed this with Brazil. Neymar didn't take a penalty in the penalty shootout. Why is starting off? Okay, fine. Even if you started off, the first penalty for Brazil was taken by Marquinhos, right? If I'm not wrong. Why is
No, that
Neymar?
is so Marquinhos took the last penalty. The first penalty was taken by Rodrigo.
Yeah, that's a fourth penalty, which was very crucial. They had to score the penalty. If they missed, they're out. Why is Neymar not taking that penalty when you know that he's your premier player and he's more likely to score? At least in my opinion, he's more likely to score. And
See,
if you have a game-defining penalty, you want your best player to take the penalty.
sitting from
I think
outside,
this is something which I even observed with Spain as well, where I don't know if Morata was on field or not, or maybe he was subbed off. Morata didn't take a
But
penalty.
yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure of that.
neither Morata took a penalty, neither Rodri.
No, but how sure are we that strikers are the best penalty takers?
Because
Like,
usually they're the ones that take penalties, right? Like for clubs,
yeah,
Not
especially.
necessarily.
not
Not
yeah,
necessarily.
like for like
Not
if you
necessarily, but
see,
okay. That's what I'm saying. We can agree
mm,
that Neymar is a better penalty taker
yeah,
than Marquinhos. This is what my point is. Like,
yeah,
if we know the class of Neymar, he's taken like so many penalties
yeah,
for
mm,
club and country.
yeah,
So you would expect him to take the match-defining penalty, right?
right.
I think similar things happened with Spain as well, wherein like who missed the last minute? I think Busquets was the one who missed.
Yeah,
I don't know
Busquets.
how.
Busquets missed it.
Oh,
Yeah. Hmm. I
So
think
you know,
all stars missed the penalty. Busquets missed it. Harry Kane, of course, missed it. We'll get to
yeah,
that.
but yeah, Harry
And
Messi
Kane
missed.
also missed a penalty. So
we who somebody from
Messi also missed a
this
penalty.
Messi missed the penalty, and somebody else also missed the penalty in one of these knockout games. But yeah.
So the reason why I feel Neymar did not take the penalty was because looking from outside, what I feel is that he didn't have the chops to take the penalty,
Mm,
or maybe
I
he
think
was
he
like,
was worried about how people will react the way they are reacting to Harry Kane.
obviously, I mean, Harry Kane he's been mollycoddled right now.
mm,
Now the way Harry Kane is being treated after missing a penalty, he's like, "ठीक है." You should have seen how Bukayo Saka and Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho were treated after they missed the penalties in the Euro final against
right.
Italy.
Mm.
You know, Harry Kane तो भाई पोस्टर बॉय है.
हैरी केन को कोई कुछ नहीं बोल सकता, मतलब मीम्स बना सकते हैं, बट द थिंग इज
I think he's the third most important person in England after the King, Prime Minister, the captain of England football team. Huh.
but see, I still think Harry Kane should not be taking penalties for
He should
England.
not. He should not have taken the
He
second penalty. I
yeah,
felt it that he's going to miss it.
but see, so such small margin, sir. मतलब उसका पहला शॉट भी ऐसे ही था. It just went inside, like probably a foot difference.
Hmm.
The difference between the first shot and the second shot. See, the such margins basically make or break you at the end of the day.
Jordan Henderson को दे देता है यार penalty.
Yeah, I mean, so talking of England, okay, we'll finish the previous ones. Neilish bhai, you predicted that France will go out of group stage.
Yeah, fuck them. They'll
Just
go
wanna
out tonight. No, tomorrow night. Morocco will beat them.
just wanna rub it on you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Morocco will
Oh,
beat
Also,
but
them.
I want to bring notice to how I said Denmark are my dark horses.
I,
Was the worst. I didn't expect
they
them to
were,
be so. Like,
they
yeah,
but
were.
yeah,
I'm gonna make
you're
a very bad joke. Okay, they were only dark, but not horses. They were not seen at all.
that's true. I mean, like they were subpar to be honest. Like I didn't expect
you know,
them to. They had a really
actually
good team. But
more than Denmark, I think. I was more disappointed in the Belgium national team, right?
भाई
for
साहब उनके
Belgium,
यहाँ तो
that was
एकदम घर घर की
expected. I
कहानी चल
called
रही
it.
थी.
I
You
take
called it
credit for
already.
Belgium going
Yeah,
out.
exactly, right. But not on the pitch itself. There was so much going on, outside, and
Yeah,
कोई
that's
कह रहे
true.
कि
There's
De Bruyne is not talking with this guy. I was talking with Kashyap last week, and he was telling about few players taking a private jet and not going with the team shit. I mean, if you don't have that camaraderie in the team itself, you won't be expecting.
it is Courtois, right? Who like De Bruyne's girlfriend left De Bruyne for Courtois or something, and that's when
Yeah,
from
yeah,
then on they're not on
yeah.
talking terms or something.
यार, they were all bickering like सास बहू.
Mm,
It was like watching some Ekta Kapoor serial. in the Belgium squad.
But it was obvious in their attitude as well. Even De Bruyne,
Yeah,
like
on the pitch it was so
he
bad.
came out to the press conference and said, "If we are this old, what do you expect from us?" I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
that is, if you're saying that,
Mm.
you're already half lost. You've given up like half. Like I don't.
They did. They did. I didn't even feel they tried to get out of the group, to be honest. The matches were so boring.
Yeah, Belgium was a really
Yeah.
sad team to watch.
I know. So we have like 3 or 4 matches to go. Tonight, I think in a couple of hours, we have Croatia versus Argentina. And we have another match, Morocco versus France.
I remember Samuel Eto'o called a semi-final
Yeah.
between France and Morocco. I
Did
mean,
it?
when I saw his predictions, I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, that is like heights of bias towards African nations. But my
Mhm.
God, the guy was right.
Oh, it's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah. And it's so heartwarming to watch all these Moroccan players after the match celebrating with their mothers, like
Yeah,
Hakimi, Boufal, and all. It's like, oh my God, man. Like, that's, I think they deserved each and every bit of what they've
definitely,
achieved
dude.
so far.
उनका जो
Definitely.
मिडफील्डर है यार,
But
अरमबात,
Arambat, yeah.
तूफान और अरमबात, उसके स्ट्राइड्स देखे तुमने, वो जब
Hmm.
दौड़ता है बॉल लेके, भाई वो मेरे को लगता है ना, वो 3-4 यार्ड कवर करता है एक बार एक स्ट्राइड में अपने वो. हाँ,
He's outstanding.
वो आएगा प्रीमियर लीग, और देखना प्रीमियर लीग में आने के वो भागेगा. ये वर्ल्ड कप के प्लेयर जैसे ही होते हैं.
Yeah, definitely. What was your most interesting match till now?
अर्जेंटीना नेदरलैंड्स.
yeah, that was
Really?
pretty good. Yeah.
Awesome.
In terms
Awesome
like,
game.
Yeah, go ahead, Kashyap.
I mean, in terms of how you had like late equalizer in extra time as well, then
Yeah.
at least it was
It
pretty
was a
It was
proper
intense.
game of football.
Proper game, yeah.
Yeah.
it was beautiful. It was beautiful. You
I
know,
mean, England France was also good, but I feel
Yeah.
Argentina Netherlands was a much better game.
I watched both the games, and somehow I felt England France was actually a little. I mean, of course, that game went to the penalties, so it was good seeing Van Dijk miss that penalty. Yeah, I was going Van Dijk missed the penalty. Yeah, Van Dijk missing that penalty, and Messi's celebration towards the coach, and there's a lot going on. But England versus France match was actually very beautiful to watch,
Yeah,
It was a
true.
good
and
game.
because it was all over the place. And I actually, to be honest, I didn't like the way Southgate was making England play before. And of course, even in this tournament, there were few changes where he got Henderson, he got Jude Bellingham out and put Henderson in. But I think he actually has tactics that can make England, take the next step. He might actually be a good coach, and I would say England were a tad bit unlucky, and Southgate's tactics were actually good. They covered Mbappe, and he couldn't do shit. And if there's one player who was basically standing out, if there were two players actually who were standing out in that French squad, there were Giroud and Griezmann.
Bro, Giroud for France is insane, dude. Like, he's really good. Like, I don't know how great he was at club level, but
Hey,
international
Arsenal,
level, my
भाई से
man.
पूछो, नीलेश भाई will
No, he
say.
was not good at Arsenal.
Yeah, he was not good at Arsenal,
If
but
he
for
was good at
France,
Arsenal, right, we would have won 2 Premier League titles.
Mhm.
he
See,
steps up for France.
Giroud was playing with prime Mesut Ozil and prime Alexis Sanchez,
Mhm.
and fucker would miss open goals. He goes to Chelsea, he starts scoring goals, he wins the Europa League. He goes to AC Milan, he wins the Italian League. He bloody wins the World Cup. Huh? साला पनौती कहीं का. But we still sing कि तू है जीरो मेरा.
Oh yeah, that song.
Yeah.
अरे प्रैक्टो के दिनों में मतलब I remember सेक्शन में से सुबह सुबह आके गाते हुए आता था.
कि तू है जीरो मेरा.
It's good, but Griezmann, I think he's been outstanding. Of course, Mbappe before this match he was good, but Griezmann was outstanding in the last match. He's got 2 assists,
एक असिस्ट.
and दोनों ही है ना, दूसरा भी
ना पहला
दूसरा
असिस्ट तो
भी
उस्मान डेम्बेले ने दिया था यार, बॉल
डिम्बेले ने
थ्रो
दिया
में.
क्या?
हाँ
बट
हाँ,
दूसरा असिस्ट मतलब he was really good.
दूसरा असिस्ट उसने दिया था.
Hmm. But talking about beautiful goals, right? Messi's goal in Netherlands game,
Messi,
Messi's
that pass.
assist
Yes.
in Netherlands game. I think Fernandez finished it. Enzo Fernandez.
नहीं नहीं वो यार वो
Oh, Milono, yeah,
मोलिना
Monila या जो भी है,
मो,
Limono जो
मो,
भी है,
हाँ
those
There
three
was one
नहीं
more
syllables.
very beautiful assist that Messi gave to somebody, I don't know. He didn't score, but the assist, like the ball, through ball was insane, man. It cut through two defenders. This guy couldn't finish, which is sad.
Mm,
I
but
think that is something else which is Argentina is kind of lacking in the terms like their finishing sometimes has been
yeah,
not on par.
mm,
But yeah, Messi has been Messi this
I think that
World
is the weakest point of Argentina, right? Despite
Cup.
being so well, they are still tad bit dependent on Messi for being creative and also for finishing.
not tad
So
bit dependent, too
yeah,
much
I mean,
dependent.
too much. Yeah, I agree. I think so one more thing is their defense, dude. Otamendi is so. I mean, he's not up to the mark. He's not up to the World Cup level where he's gonna start and then be the central defender. Um, so that is also one more weak point. I hope Croatia basically exploits it and this guy takes the finals again. Yeah, and yeah, what are your predictions?
My predictions for semi-finals, I think France v Croatia.
France v Croatia. Interesting. Kashyap.
Uh, that's what even I was thinking. I think it'll be France v Croatia as well.
फिर तो पक्का नहीं
As
होगा
much as I
वो.
want Morocco to win, probably indirectly I'm jinxing that as well. I want Morocco in finals and probably win the cup. It'll be amazing to see an African nation win the cup. I think it'll be like a fairy tale story.
Yeah.
But yeah, beating France and even like possibly Argentina is like a huge task. Like that could be a thing. And
Yeah.
also France is like
Imagine
is
if
looking.
Morocco and Croatia
Croatia. That is my
reach
dream
the
final.
finals.
Yeah, that'll be amazing too.
That's
मैं
what I
बता
want.
मैं बता रहा हूँ, देखो जो फुटबॉल रोमांटिक हैं वो तो बैठ के देखेंगे, हाँ जो बाकी जनता जो जो 4 साल में एक बार देखती है कोई नहीं देखने वाला। और मैं बताऊं वो 120 मिनट तक वो मैच ना वो लोग केवल अपने अपने हाफ में खड़े होके खेलेंगे, हाँ वो डायरेक्ट पेनल्टी शूट होंगे,
पहले ही कर लेंगे कि भाई पेनल्टी कर लेंगे.
हाँ कर लेते हैं यार वही उसी में, हाँ
भाई तुम्हारा गोल कीपर भी अच्छा है, हमारा गोल कीपर भी अच्छा है, कर लेते
हाँ
हैं. But yeah, huge shout out to Morocco, as we discussed before. And I'm very much, I don't know, I'm positive that Morocco will actually give a fight to France because अगर उनका कोच ने इंग्लैंड वर्सेस फ्रांस गेम देखा होगा तो फिर he should know that they should know how to stop Mbappe. So if they have something for Giroud, I think they can actually go through or at least take two penalties and just win it from there. And yeah, that is one thing. And I'm actually positive on Croatia to beat Argentina because uh, I didn't feel Argentina were up to the mark in the Netherlands game. Penalties tak gaya, and they basically let Netherlands take the lead again. That second goal they gave up after having the lead, similar to what Brazil were doing, and that's why I'm very positive on Croatia beating Argentina. I want a Croatia versus Morocco, but yeah, that's my this thing.
Wait, if it's Croatia versus France, there'll be a repeat of last World Cup's final, right?
Yeah.
So before we wind up, we just need to do an honorable mention to Mr. Peter Dury. I think some of his commentary in this World Cup is absolute gem.
Yeah, just before the recording, you mentioned about Morocco, right?
Man,
that those words still echo in my ear. They're so beautiful.
whenever I hear this quality of commentary, I just go back and listen to the kind of commentary we are subjected to, when we listen to commentary in cricket. Apart from Harsha Bhogle and maybe
Ravi Shastri.
few other commentators, there's no one providing such kind of insight or such kind of romanticism
No.
to the game.
Ravi Shastri, he has his niche. I mean, he has his usual niche dialogues that he says every time, and everybody just applauds about them. But I agree, Harsha Bogle is amazing. So, little deviating, but that reminds me of the time when Sachin scored 200. uh, he said that there's a surgeon on one end and there's a butcher on the other. There's भी
हम्म,
धोनी दूसरे end पे होता है and वो
हाँ
मार रहा होता है and वो
हाँ
सचिन को strike ही नहीं देता है. And
हाँ
वहां पे सचिन is like टक टक कर रहा होता है because he wants to reach his 200. um that line is like, I think it's class. Cannot really I don't know how they write, dude. This Peter Jury, Harsha Bogle, David Crofty in F1,
I,
just mind blowing lines.
I think that comes with a lot of experience, and
True.
you keep doing
Of
this day
course.
in day out, right? And you start
Mm,
keep playing with words. You have
yeah.
to be spontaneous, and because that's your job.
Mm,
And
I
I just find it really amusing that Peter Dury comes up with such good poetic
yeah.
lines. I mean,
Mm, mm.
you remember AS Roma beating Barcelona.
Oh yes.
Roma have risen from ruins. And how who could have imagined that line?
Yeah.
क्या घर से लिख के थोड़ा ना लाया होगा यार.
I
हाँ,
think, yeah, that's true. It's just the more you read, the more you talk about it,
yeah,
you basically bring all that. It's like connecting the dots backwards, like
yeah.
Steve Jobs said, like, right, you read stuff and then it comes out whenever it's needed. Beautiful. Yeah. Any mentions that you want to talk about until the semifinals before?
Bukayo Saka.
Was he
Saga,
good?
yeah. The guy is really good.
Bukayo Saka.
Was he
I've
good
seen
in
the
England matches? I watched
Yes,
only a couple of
yeah, he
English
was
matches.
he
he
was.
was. I watched
He was the only player who stood out in the entire England team throughout the
true.
Was it
tournament.
wasn't Jude Bellingham? Jude Bellingham was
Jude
also,
Bellingham तो था ही.
yeah.
Jude
हाँ,
Bellingham, I think he scored a goal or something, but I
I think
think
it was the
Saka
first
was
matches.
more
yeah.
evident in terms of his play. He was more
Mm,
present on the field.
mm,
Like even the few highlights that I watched of England, like Saka was really good.
mm. Recently, I saw this press conference or some quote from Ten Hag, right? If Harry Maguire continues to play like he's playing for England, he's definitely coming back to United's starting lineup. I
He's
think.
not coming back to United side. I think Harry Maguire will go to Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh यार, पता नहीं क्यों, हाँ लगता है कि he deserves to be in Spurs.
हाँ, वो स्पर्जी जैसा उसको शक्ल भी है साले का. हाँ.
Talk
और
about
जब तक हैरी केन कैप्टन है इंग्लैंड का,
hmm.
इंग्लैंड
And
हाथ नहीं उखाड़ने वाली है. लिखवा लो मुझसे. वो
कोई कह
अगले
रहा था
साल.
कि should Harry Kane be criticized or something, and there was a comment below it saying that he's already a Spurs player. What
Yeah,
more do you
dude.
want?
Fuck him.
What more do you want to talk about? Uh, I think.
the other shout out I want to give is like for this 19-year-old kid called Jamal Musiala. That guy was amazing even in group stages.
Hmm.
Watching him play is like, oh my god, you can't believe he's 19. Like he's really good.
Jude Bellingham and Jamal Musiala, they are
Dude,
like
just
like good, very close
yeah.
friends.
If this fame and then if this talent and then if this all media attention doesn't get to their heads, right, they're definitely going to be outstanding talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only worry is that they don't become a Deli Ali.
Mm,
Like that guy when he was like 20 or something, he was insane and then he just fell off. Like
mm, yeah,
we don't hear about him anymore.
I think
That's the risk.
he should have stayed at Spurs. He could have gone to a better team from Spurs. But talking about that 19-year-olds reminds me of Greenwood. Uh, he was
Richarlison
probably
injured.
Richarlison injured.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, continue. क्या बोल रहे थे? Sorry.
या
ऐसा एक
इट्स फाइन.
notification
मैं
आया था.
मैं सोच रहा था रिचार्लिसन कौन टीम के लिए खेलता है, फिर मैंने रियलाइज किया कि ओके ठीक है, बस फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा मुझे.
हाँ.
फिर आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट ग्रीनवुड. आई थिंक ही वाज द व्हाट डू यू से द रिवाइवल पिल फॉर यूनाइटेड. So that phase where United was really doing good, Fernandes was playing well, and Greenwood was actually, I mean, he was so impressive in his first few games as a sub, and then he started playing really well. He started scoring.
And then he started giving girls the IPL.
Yeah. See, that's why these young kids, they need a mentor in a team. They need to know what's right, what's wrong. If not, they'll end up like that. Now his career is gone. Nobody's going to bring him back to any club.
Yeah.
He's gonna stay relevant for sure. Yeah. That's my take on this. But yeah, I think these players were really good. As I said, of course, we should talk about our player of the tournament. I'm sticking to my prediction, Messi, somehow, because yeah, I think I said Messi. Harry Kane, did Harry Kane score a open goal, Nilesh bhai?
Harry Kane, yes,
Yeah.
he scored an open goal, and I think Harry Kane had a decent tournament. But for me, player of the tournament is Lionel Messi.
Mm. We should not entirely rule out Mbappe as well. He has like 7 involvements in goal. I think he has like 5 goals
Yeah,
and 2
Mbappe has been
assists.
pretty good too, and a
Yeah,
couple of
he's
his
been
goals are
amazing.
really good. Like
Yeah, and Giroud is not far away. I think he has like 5 involvements in the goal.
he has 4
Uh,
goals, right? Mbappe has 5, Giroud has 4, Messi has 4.
yeah, basically, yeah. Messi has 4, I think. Pretty good tournament. And one final thing was
Portugal?
Ronaldo.
Have we talked
Yeah,
about Portugal?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Ronaldo. Yeah, it was. He's been benched for those 2 games, which I think it was not a bad decision, to be honest. They were actually really good in the round 16 game, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy who
Gonzalo
came in for
Ramos.
him got a hat trick, right?
Ramos, yeah,
Gonzalo
Gonzalo
Ramos.
Ramos, yeah, he got a hat trick, and yeah, he played 1 match and he got like 3 goals. Um,
And then he was very bad. He was horrible in the match against Morocco.
Morocco, yeah.
yeah, he was very bad. Yeah, Morocco match, I think Felix played well, and everything was basically nullified by the
I really
goalkeeper.
expected Ronaldo to score that last chance. I think it was 90 some
That
odd minute.
that
And
through
I was
ball.
95% sure that he was going to score because, like, but then,
Yeah,
yeah.
that through ball you're talking about, right? I think
Yeah.
Fernandez or
He gets a
somebody
through ball
gave
and
and
then, yeah. He
yeah,
runs in on goal. He's there against the goalkeeper. And
yeah,
we've seen him do that so many times. So I almost
exactly.
expected him to do it again.
Yeah,
Just sad that he didn't. And probably that was his last World Cup. It was so sad to see him not play.
yeah,
But yeah, he's had like a really tough couple of
yeah.
months
This
in
whole
terms of club and
2022,
country. Yeah,
yeah, the whole
it's
personal
something which
club
you will
and
want to
country.
forget.
Yeah, it was so difficult to basically watch Ronaldo in that phase, because of course, because I think he started a little to accept that he is that sub player if he wants to be, and he didn't have a great World Cup, and it was basically just hard to see Ronaldo not score that stuff and crying after the match and just going away and all the statuses etc. that he's
Yeah,
putting right now. It was uh, it's tough to see. And one thing is like the amount of media attention that he gets is horrible. That picture where there was this drone shot where all the media was on Ronaldo when he was standing for the national anthem. He was on the bench. There were like 1,000 cameras right in front of his face. I think that's what happens, right? When you're so good for so long time, it eventually will fade away at some point of time,
that's the thing,
some
right?
point
When
or the
you are
other.
so successful,
Mm,
you like people will want you to fail, and then when you actually fail,
yeah,
all those people who wanted you to fail are like out there saying,
It's
yeah,
simple. You should just, leave the game when you are still on top. You still have your legacy intact. अब
that's
देखो अब रोनाल्डो को पिछले 1 साल की वजह से उसके पिछले 20 साल का करियर को ये नहीं बोलेगा कि उसने खराब किया है, but it he's leaving the stage with a very bad taste in most of the people's
सी
mouth.
दैट्स व्हाट ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी है कि मतलब कितना भी अच्छा करो, लास्ट में अगर
हाँ,
तुम थोड़ा
लास्ट में
भी
अगर
इतना
तुमने
ऐसे
हक
हो जाए
दिया
ना,
ना,
फिर
हाँ
पीपल विल रिमेम्बर दैट.
हाँ, तो आई थिंक
या
अब देखो कहाँ जाता है, सऊदी अरेबिया जाता है कि यूएस जाता है.
मुझे लग
यूरोप
रहा है
में तो कोई नहीं
चेल्सी.
खिला रहा उसको. चेल्सी उलसी नहीं जा रहा.
नहीं जा रहा क्या
चेल्सी अगर
चेल्सी?
गया ना, मैं वैसे बताऊं, चेल्सी अगर लेता है ना, उसको सबसे बड़ा चूतिया क्लब है चेल्सी. यूरोप में अगर कोई भी क्लब लेता है उसमें, वो चूतिया ही होगा.
Let's see, but yeah, I think he still wants to be relevant. I think he still wants to prove that he has
he
something in
say.
him.
I
But
think
yeah,
he's gonna
let's
play
see.
the Euros as well in 2024. Yeah, that's at least
Yeah,
his aim
he
is
might
to
just
play the
play.
Euros.
वो
Yeah.
है ना उसके साथ
And
उसका उसका ग्रैंड डैडी पेपे.
39 वो खेल रहा है तो ये भी खेल ही
ये
सकता
भी
है.
खेलेगा ही.
But Pepe was actually good.
He was
You saw
good.
the
Yeah.
you saw the goal and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
outstanding.
defending was also good. Arey, that is what experience brings, you know. You see Messi, he does not run around a lot. You see Pepe, they do not run. Modric, यार इस उम्र में
Nobody
तुमको
does.
क्या लगता है वो क्या 12 किलोमीटर थोड़ा ना दौड़ता है, वो 8 किलोमीटर दौड़ते हैं पूरे मैच में. और वो गेम का पोजिशनल अवेयरनेस उनको इतना होता है कि वो पूरा गेम कंट्रोल करते हैं.
Right.
बुस्केट्स, यू लुक एट दीज आर प्लेयर्स. अरे यार, उस लेवल का प्लेयर बनने के लिए तुमको बहुत अलग लेवल का टैलेंट चाहिए होता है यार.
Talent plus hard work.
हार्ड वर्क तो
So
भाई वो तो
much.
इनग्रेन्ड होता है. वो तुम्हारे पीछे जो पोस्टर लगा हुआ है उसमें तुम मॉडरिच की जंघें देखो. लुक एट हिज थाइज, दे आर बिगर देन योर फेस. तुमको क्या लगता है वो ऐसे घर में लेस करके थोड़ा ना बनाया है उसने?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. It's not easy. Yeah, I think let's. I think that's this thing. So, who do you think will be your this under 19, under 21 player of the tournament? I don't see
Bellingham.
anyone. Bellingham, because he went to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I thought. I mean, I don't know the previous ones, but if that's the thing, then Croatia से तो कोई होगा नहीं. सारे 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 28-30 वाले. फ्रांस में भी कोई नहीं है. I don't see any other young player. But yeah, I think that's a really entertaining World Cup, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been
Superb
fun
matches.
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see whose prediction of the final or the winners. Let's see. Let's do one round of prediction of winners. Neeraj bhai.
I mean, you want to do game wise or you want to do it?
No, the World Cup winners.
World Cup winners. मेरे हिसाब से फ्रांस.
Mm.
See, मैं चाहता हूँ कि अर्जेंटीना जीते.
Yeah, Croatia जीते.
But strike off France. I want Argentina to win.
Okay, Argentina. Yeah, for Messi.
Yes.
The last
Messi.
dance.
Yeah.
Okay. Kashyap.
I'll say Morocco.
Dude, see that the whole Arab world and the African world will go mad if Morocco wins the World Cup. I mean, I think forget the World Cup. Even if they go to finals, right, they'd be on top of the world.
There'll be too much of Habibi even in the Bangalore streets.
Arey haan, so abhi my friend was in Qatar, right, Naveen? We talked about it. Oh, Qatar is filled with Moroccans. Matlab, there are buses and trucks filled with people from Morocco who are coming and traveling to Qatar and to watch the matches and stuff. Oh, I think that atmosphere would be amazing. But yeah, I want Croatia to win the World Cup for Modric. I think he put a lot of effort. I mean, at 37, he's still leading that side and taking them, in a span of 4 years to 2 World Cup semifinals is like brilliant, and leading that side. Yeah.
Among the three of us, we picked 3 teams, so this podcast has like 75% chance to pick the only downside is that nobody picked France, and it could very be likely that France will win and all of us are
if
wrong.
France wins the World Cup, we'll never make any predictions again.
It's okay.
Okay,
people in YouTube comments will go like what bunch of clowns, but I don't mind. At least that'll be the first comment we'll get.
Yeah. It's great, I think. Okay, then let's have fun, watch the matches. It was a great episode. Thanks everyone.
Chalo, bye bye.
See you all. Bye bye.
Bye.